Hello. So, my name is Kori and welcome to Aiken2Awaken because my last name is Aiken, Kori Aiken. My brother and I decided to make this channel because I live in Japan and he lives in Texas, and recently we've gotten really close despite our distance from each other. So we always want to talk to each other about really deep things that take a lot of time to get through, but because we live so far away from each other and the time zone is so different, but because we live so far away from each other and time zones exist, it's hard for us to schedule times to talk to each other. So we decided to make this channel so that we can share our ideas with each other and the world. So for a little bit of background, I've been living in Japan for about 3.5 years almost. I've been working and living in Fukuoka City for about 4 or 5 months, but before that I lived in a very rural area in southern Kyushu for 3 years, and at that time I was doing a very unfulfilling job of being an assistant language teacher. So I was teaching English in public junior highs and elementary schools, and I did have a lot of opportunities to talk to kids and share my ideas with them, but as far as teaching went, I was a glorified decoration and mostly stood in the corner while repeating vocab. I didn't have a lot to do with what the kids learned or how they learned it. So I moved to Fukuoka, and now I get paid far less to do a job that requires much more time and responsibility, but I love it so much more than my job before because I have the opportunity to actually teach what I want to and teach how I want to, and I do a lot of things outside of teaching as well. And now that I teach in a completely English environment, the kids learn a lot more, and they're so smart. It's such a rewarding job. And I remember when my brother started his new job, I'll let him talk a little bit more about what he does, but he's an engineer in Texas, and when he first started his job and got used to it and comfortable is around the time that I moved from Kagoshima, where I lived before, and started my new job. And he'd always ask me, oh, I really respect what you do what you want and you don't worry about money, but I don't like my new job as much as I thought, and I know that I make a lot of money and I should feel lucky that I have the luxury of doing what I want and affording an apartment and living my life comfortably because of the amount of money I make, but I don't know if this job is for me. I don't want to work in this environment. He'd always ask me what to do. He said, I wish I had the opportunity to make as much money as you do because life would be easier, but I don't know if I would be happier. And it got me thinking that these days people define success as a good job and a nice apartment and an expensive car. They define it with material things and money. But for me, if that was the case, I would never be successful because I don't care about those things. I don't care about making tons of money because, yes, I do have the luxury of not having to really worry about money because, I do have a job, I have a support system where if I did lose my job, I would have people to take care of me. But my parents always taught me the value of $1, and I always had to work hard for my money, as my parents did as well. Neither one of them graduated from college, so they've had to work very hard to get where they are. So, yeah, money doesn't really matter to me. As long as I have enough to eat and live, then I'm okay. What matters more to me is happiness and how fulfilled I am by my job and what I decide to do with my time. And that is success, right? So that's the thing that I want to tell my brother and tell everyone, is that if you think that success is defined by a good job and a lot of money, then you are running down the wrong path. Because it's cliche and it gets said all the time, but I think so many people these days forget it, that happiness is what's important. You know, what makes you happy? Do you do things that enrich your life? Do you do things that help the world in a positive way? Or do you do things that get you closer to a big paycheck? And I think my brother is seeing that. You know, he has so many great plans coming and things that he wants to do. And I'll let him tell you a little bit more about that because it's really wonderful. But for me, you know, I'm never gonna make 6 digits. In Japan I make 7, but it doesn't matter, you know. Yen is totally different. I will never make 6 digits in dollars unless I win some like major book deal, or I don't know. Like it's really not possible for me, I don't think. But I'm not rushing to achieve that. That's not my goal. My goal is not to be a millionaire and make tons of money. My goal is to be happy and find what I enjoy doing in life. Find what I'm good at. Find what the world needs. And that, I think, is the purpose of living. Because if you've watched other, you know, inspirational videos, that is the key. Like, whatever you do, you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it, and you have to make an impact on the world and the people around you with it. You know, if you really enjoy murdering people, well, I'm sorry, that's not successful in my opinion. But if you enjoy teaching, or you enjoy helping people, saving lives, if you enjoy spreading a positive message, if you just enjoy writing and sharing art, you know, like, I think in my family, being an artist is not necessarily a successful career, but I think that if you're happy and you're spreading positive things with people around you and you're making an impact on the world in a good way, then you're successful, man. So to my brother, I want to say, you already are successful. You're a very smart, passionate young man, and you're on to great things. I know it. As long as you don't give up and you constantly think, success is what I make it. Success is exactly what I want it to be. Whatever goal I set for myself. If I succeed in that goal, then I've succeeded in life. If you think that, then you can't fail. You're on to so many great things. And to everyone else, do it. Just do whatever your heart tells you it wants to do, because life really is too short. And if you're afraid that moving to a new country or starting a new job or completely changing your life, if you're afraid of moving to a new country or starting a new career or completely changing your life, then you're never going to get anywhere unless you just do it. You have to do it. Okay, Philip, so I hope that this video was good enough for you for our first one, and I'm really looking forward to your response. I really want to know what you think your 10-year goal is. I personally don't really make goals that far in advance because I like to see where the wind blows me, so to speak. But I know that you have such amazing plans for the future, and I'm really curious to know where you see yourself in 10 years. Alright, well that's all for me, so I'll talk to you soon. Bye!